My friends, I invite you to lean in, not casually but earnestly, because this message is not for someone else. It's for you. It's for the one who still has time to do what she didn't. The one who still has someone to love, but hasn't said it. The one who still has blessings in hand but refuses to open their eyes. She didn't mean to lose it. No one does. She didn't plan to miss it. She just didn't see it, because it was always there. She walked past the warmth of love. She shrugged off the gentle voice that once called her name. She rolled her eyes at the hands that reached to help her. She thought, "This will always be here." But my friends, it wasn't. And now? Now she looks at the empty chair. Now she scrolls through photos with tears that won't dry. Now she wishes she could go back, not to change the world, just to say thank you, to hold on, to care. Let me ask you, what are you missing right now? Because you're too used to it. What person, what place, what gift from God is sitting silently in your life, waiting to be seen? This is not a speech to entertain your mind. This is a message to awaken your soul. Because if she could speak to you now, she would grab your hands and beg you, don't wait until it's gone to appreciate what you have. We live in a world that teaches us to chase what's next. But the Spirit of God calls us to cherish what's now. And friend, if you don't learn to be grateful for what you have, one day you'll weep for what you lost. Let this be the turning point. Let this be the day you call your mother. You forgive your father. You hug your children tighter. You say thank you to the one who loves you. You stop looking past the miracle of the ordinary, because she misses what she took for granted. But you still have time. Would you like this adapted for a specific audience, such as a church, youth group, or online video format? Familiarity is a quiet thief. It does not break down your doors in the night. It does not shout in your face or steal with violence. No, it walks in silently, wearing the mask of routine, and convinces you that what you have will always be there. You see, we are not blind because we lack sight, but because we stop looking, when something or someone is always there, always within reach, always answering the phone, always coming home, always loving, forgiving, smiling. We stop recognizing how rare it really is. We confuse consistency with permanence, and in that confusion we begin to take blessings and call them normal. We take kindness and call it expected, and we take love and call it obligated. The blindness of familiarity doesn't just affect how we see others, it reshapes how we value them. A person who once brought joy becomes background noise. A meal that once filled our soul becomes just another plate on the table. A partner, a parent, a child who once felt like a miracle becomes just part of life. That blindness slowly strips the soul of its gratitude. And in the absence of gratitude, appreciation dies. You don't notice the sun rising until it's storming. You don't notice the heartbeat of the home until it falls silent. You don't notice the sacrifice in someone's love until you no longer receive it, and it happens so subtly. A missed thank you, a rushed goodbye, a forgotten hug, a delayed response to a text, and one by one, those moments collect like dust on a windowsill until the window itself becomes too clouded to see what's on the other side. You stop seeing the person, you start seeing the task, the expectation, the annoyance, and the relationship that was once a gift begins to feel like a weight, not because it changed, but because you did. Familiarity creates entitlement, and entitlement always breeds regret. We assume there's always tomorrow to say what should be said today. We assume people will stay no matter how little we notice them. But hearts don't work that way. People grow tired. They grow weary of being invisible in the very places where they should be cherished. They begin to wonder if their presence even matters. And often they walk away in quiet sadness, not out of anger but out of emptiness. Then one day you look up and they're gone. The room feels colder. The air feels heavier. The same routine now stings with absence. And suddenly your eyes are open, but only to see what you lost. You replay words you didn't say. You remember smiles you didn't return. You ache to go back to what once bored you. That's the tragedy of it all. What once felt so ordinary now feels like the very thing you can't live without. But you already did. You lived without gratitude, without presence, without awareness. And now you live with the pain of sight that came too late. When blessings slip quietly through our fingers, their absence echoes louder than any shout. It is in the empty spaces left behind that we hear the true weight of what was once there. Often, we do not realize the fullness of a blessing until it is gone, until the laughter fades, the presence vanishes, or the comfort of familiarity is replaced by silence. The things we once overlooked, the kindnesses we took as routine, now reverberate in the hollow chambers of our hearts. This echo is a haunting reminder of how precious those blessings really were, and how deeply we missed their value when they filled our lives. Blessings come in many forms: the simple smile of a loved one, the steady support of a friend, the quiet strength of family, the opportunity to wake each morning with hope. When these blessings are present, they often become background noise to the rhythm of daily life. We move through our days distracted, caught up in the urgency of what lies ahead, failing to recognize the treasure beneath our feet. But when those blessings vanish, the stillness that remains speaks volumes. The echo is a call to remembrance, a summons to face the painful truth that what was once taken for granted was, in reality, a gift beyond measure. There is a profound loneliness in this echo, a loneliness that comes from knowing we held the blessing but did not fully hold on to it with our hearts. We find ourselves wandering through memories, replaying moments with a bittersweet longing. We see clearly the sacrifices made quietly on our behalf, the steady love offered without demand, the patience that went unnoticed. Regret wells up as we realize the depth of what we failed to appreciate. It is a silent ache that fills the soul, urging us to cherish what remains and to learn from the pain of loss. This experience is universal because it touches the core of the human condition, the struggle to live fully in the present, to appreciate what we have before it slips away. The echo of lost blessings is a spiritual echo as well, a reminder of how easily we take for granted the grace that surrounds us every day. It is an invitation to awaken to the reality that nothing is owed to us, and that every kindness, every relationship, every moment of peace is a gift to be treasured. In the stillness left behind, there is also a whisper of hope, the hope that we will not remain deaf to the echo, that we will allow the memory of what we lost to teach us how to live differently moving forward, to open our eyes wider, to hold more tightly, to speak words of love and gratitude more often, because blessings, once lost, teach us the value of presence and the urgency of appreciation. The echoes remind us that life is fragile and fleeting, that time is a precious currency, and that the heart's true wealth lies in recognizing and honoring the gifts given while we still can. There is a truth that many come to know, but few embrace until it weighs heavily on the soul. The heart often awakens too late. We walk through life with eyes half closed, hearts distracted by the noise of the world, and we fail to see the sacred moments that are slipping past us. The awakening, the deep spiritual realization of what truly matters, rarely happens in the midst of comfort and routine. It comes in the stillness after loss, in the silence left by absence, in the lonely ache of regret. The heart stirs awake, but only after the precious has been removed, after the warmth we took for granted has turned cold. How often do we hear the stories of those who look back with sorrow because they did not recognize love while it was near? A mother's gentle touch, a father's steady hand, a friend's loyal presence. These are gifts that often go unnoticed in the rush of everyday life. We convince ourselves there will be time tomorrow, or the day after, or next year. We put off saying, "I love you, I'm sorry," or "thank you." But time is a master that does not wait, and hearts that fail to wake in the moment find themselves awakened by emptiness. This awakening too late is a heavy burden. It carries with it a profound longing to turn back the clock, to reclaim what was lost, to mend what was broken. But time is relentless. The days once given are now memories, and the moments missed cannot be retaken. The heart, newly open, feels the sharp sting of absence, and the heavy weight of what might have been. This is the tragic irony of life. Clarity often comes in the aftermath, not before. We are given the gift of sight, but only after the object has slipped beyond our grasp. Yet this awakening too late is also a sacred call. It is a call to never grow complacent, to never take the people and blessings in our lives for granted. It reminds us that love is not something to be stored for a later day, but to be poured out now, freely, fully, without hesitation. The heart's awakening, though delayed, carries the potential for transformation. It urges us to live differently from this moment forward, to speak our truths, to embrace vulnerability, to cherish presence. The truth is, none of us knows how many moments remain. None of us can guarantee that tomorrow will bring another chance, to say the words left unsaid or to hold the hands we've ignored. The heart's awakening too late is a spiritual alarm ringing through the silence, urging us to open our eyes and hearts while we still have breath, while the ones we love still stand beside us. In this awakening there is both sorrow and hope, sorrow for what has been lost, and hope that the pain of awakening will guide us toward a deeper appreciation for the gift of now, the blessing of presence, and the grace of love freely given. In the rush of life, presence is the rarest and most precious gift we can offer one another. It is easy to be physically near someone yet emotionally and spiritually distant, caught up in distractions or preoccupations. But true presence, being fully there in the moment with another person, is a sacred act of love. It is a recognition that the time we have together is not guaranteed, and that every heartbeat shared in genuine connection is a blessing to be treasured. The gift of presence is more than just showing up. It is showing up with the fullness of our attention, care, and affection. Too often we move through relationships as if they were tasks to complete or obligations to fulfill. We speak words without listening. We sit side by side but live miles apart in our minds. We forget that the greatest need of the human heart is to be truly seen and heard. When we take the time to be present, we say without words, "You matter. You are important. I am here for you." This simple act carries immense power to heal wounds, build trust, and deepen love. The presence of a loving heart can transform a moment of loneliness into a moment of grace. Yet, presence is fleeting. The moments we spend with loved ones cannot be stored or reclaimed once past. When we take for granted that someone will always be there, we risk missing the chance to be fully with them now. We delay meaningful conversations, postpone apologies, and neglect expressions of affection, believing there will be another day. But life's unpredictability often teaches us that there may be no tomorrow. The absence left behind by a lost loved one is a stark reminder that presence is a gift not to be wasted. The gift of presence is also a spiritual calling. It echoes the divine nature of love that is patient, kind, and attentive. To be truly present is to mirror the unconditional love that holds and sustains us. It is to offer a sanctuary of peace in a chaotic world, a refuge of understanding amid confusion and pain. When we embrace the gift of presence, we participate in the sacred work of building relationships that reflect God's love, relationships marked by empathy, patience, and sacrificial care. Being present requires intentionality and humility. It calls us to set aside distractions, to silence the noise of our own worries, and to focus wholeheartedly on the person before us. It means listening not just with our ears, but with our hearts, ready to respond with compassion and grace. It means making time even when life is busy, because no schedule is more important than the heart of a person we love. It means saying "I am here" in a way that the soul can feel. In giving the gift of presence, we acknowledge the sacredness of the moment and the dignity of the other. We break the cycle of taking for granted what we have and instead choose to celebrate it, fully, deeply, and without hesitation. This gift is life-giving, both to the giver and receiver, planting seeds of peace and joy that endure beyond the fleeting passage of time. Silent regret is a heavy burden that many carry in the quiet moments when no one else is watching. It is the unseen sorrow that dwells deep within the heart, a sorrow born not from loud mistakes or dramatic failures, but from the small, unnoticed moments of neglect and indifference. It is the whisper that haunts those who realize too late that they failed to cherish what they once had. The love, the kindness, the presence of someone who meant the world to them. This regret is silent because it often goes unspoken, buried beneath layers of pride, shame, or fear, yet it is no less real or painful. This kind of regret is not born of deliberate cruelty but of simple human blindness. It is the regret of missed opportunities to say, "I love you," "I'm sorry," or "thank you." It is the regret of hurried goodbyes, of distracted conversations, of moments when we were physically present but emotionally absent. It is the regret that creeps in when we realize that what we thought was endless, time, patience, forgiveness, was actually fragile and finite. Silent regret grows in the spaces left by unspoken words and undone deeds, where relationships withered not because of great offenses, but because of neglect. Those who carry silent regret often find themselves trapped in a painful loop of what-ifs and if-onlys. What if I had listened more? If only I'd been kinder? If only I had recognized the gift before it was gone? These questions linger like shadows, reminding us that the past cannot be changed, no matter how much we wish it could be. The heart aches not only because of loss, but because of the awareness that our own choices contributed to that loss. This awareness is a sobering and humbling experience, one that calls us to humility and repentance. Silent regret can isolate the soul. It makes us retreat from others, fearing judgment or rejection. We carry the weight of our remorse in silence, sometimes believing we are alone in our sorrow. Yet, this regret is a universal human experience. Everyone who has loved deeply has faced moments when they wished they had loved better. The difference is not in the experience of regret, but in how we respond to it. Silent regret can either imprison us in bitterness or open the door to healing and growth. To move beyond silent regret requires courage. The courage to face our failures honestly and to seek reconciliation where possible. It requires the humility to ask for forgiveness and the grace to forgive ourselves. Most importantly, it calls us to a renewed commitment to live with intention, to value the present, and to love with a fullness that leaves no room for future regrets. When we embrace these truths, silent regret transforms from a source of despair into a catalyst for change, shaping us into people who cherish rather than overlook the blessings in their lives. Life often tempts us to live in the future, to believe that the moments we have today are merely stepping stones to what lies ahead. We think there will always be time to say the words that matter, to make the gestures of love, to mend what is broken. But the call to cherish now is an urgent reminder that the only true moment we possess is this one. It is a summons to wake up from the complacency of routine and recognize the profound value of the present. To cherish now means to see the sacred in the ordinary, to hold close the people around us with intentional love, and to live with a heart wide open to gratitude and presence. Too often, we find ourselves trapped in a mindset of delay, waiting for the right time, the perfect moment, or the better opportunity. We postpone forgiveness, delay expressions of affection, and put off quality time with those we love. We tell ourselves there will be another chance, another day, another season. But life is fragile, unpredictable, and fleeting. The call to cherish now rings loud because tomorrow is never guaranteed. Every moment passed without appreciation is a moment lost forever. A blessing missed, a relationship weakened. Cherishing now requires courage and intentionality. It means choosing to be fully present even when distractions beckon. It means setting aside pride and fear to speak words of love and healing. It means embracing vulnerability, allowing ourselves to be deeply connected rather than distant. This call challenges the human tendency to take for granted what seems constant and unchanging. It invites us to cultivate a daily practice of gratitude, to notice the small acts of kindness and love that often go unseen, and to celebrate them as gifts from God and life itself. The call to cherish now is not only about relationships with others, but also about how we cherish the gift of life itself. It is a call to recognize the beauty in each sunrise, the wonder in each breath and the miracle of existence. When we heed this call, we live with eyes wide open, aware that every person we meet and every moment we experience is a sacred opportunity. We begin to see life not as a series of tasks to complete, but as a tapestry woven with moments of grace, connection, and love. Ignoring this call leads to a life shadowed by regret and sorrow. We may not realize until it is too late that the things we overlooked, the smile of a child, the wisdom of a parent, the friendship of a companion, were the very treasures we needed most. The call to Cherish Now urges us to break free from that regret before it roots deeply in our hearts. It calls us to embrace love without hesitation, to forgive without delay, and to live with a thankful heart. This call is a sacred invitation, a divine whisper in the noise of everyday life, urging us to live fully and love fiercely. It reminds us that the greatest tragedy is not losing what we cherish, but never truly cherishing it while we had it. The call to Cherish Now beckons us to open our eyes, open our hearts, and grasp the gift of this moment before it slips away. As we reflect on the journey of this message, we see a picture that is both timeless and urgent. It is the story of a heart that slept through the blessings right before her eyes, only to awaken too late to their absence. It is a story that calls each of us to look deeply at our own lives, at the people we love, the moments we hold, and the gifts we often overlook. The truth is clear. What we take for granted today may become the source of our deepest sorrow tomorrow. But the good news is this: we do not have to wait for loss to teach us gratitude. We can choose now to open our eyes, to cherish what we have, and to live with a heart full of thankfulness and presence. So I ask you, as you go from this place, to remember her story, not as a tale of regret, but as a powerful invitation. An invitation to love more deeply, to listen more carefully, to forgive more freely, and to be fully present in every moment. Because life is fragile, and time is swift. The chair beside you may not always be filled. The voice you hear today may not always call your name tomorrow. Let us not be the ones who miss what we took for granted. Instead, let us be the ones who cherish the gift of now, who hold tight to the blessings before us, and who walk forward with grateful hearts and open hands. For in doing so, we honor not only those we love, but the very life God has graciously given us. May this be the day you choose presence over distraction, gratitude over neglect, and love over indifference. May you never wait until it is gone to realize its value. And may your heart, awake and alive, become a beacon of hope and grace in a world too often blind to the treasures right in front of it.